What is up, Unity community, and welcome back to another official Unity live stream here on twitch.tv/Unity, and of course, the official Unity YouTube page. My name is Jackson. I'm one of your community managers, and I'm responsible for all of the live stream content here on these channels. I'm so grateful to have you here today. We have a fantastic show planned for you all to kick off Global Game Jam 2025, which of course started yesterday. We have assembled the best of the best. We've got the team here. Team Unity has come together for another game jam. We're going to be going through the initial brainstorming and whiteboarding stages of this jam, and we are excited to bring you along for the ride. But not only that, you all will have an opportunity to influence this game jam. Of course, we will be putting a poll in the chat at some point during this stream, and you will all have the opportunity to, again, pick and choose certain elements and approaches that this team will take place. Now, I'm very excited to have you here. If you are hanging out live, which is the best way to watch these streams, the best way to hang out, the best way to connect with the community, you can hop in the chat here on YouTube or Twitch, and we will be paying attention to you because this is a conversation. We don't want to just talk at you. We want to be speaking with you guys. We want to be engaging with you. We are here to hear everything that you have to say, like the Bull who popped in early and was saying that they saw a demo from the Houdini team over on the Global Game Jam channel. Have we ever done a stream with them? It seemed like a really interesting tool. We have not, and that's a fantastic idea because I think that we could really utilize a lot of their information, and our community could really use it in their game creation process. So thank you very, very much for that idea. I might see if we can chase down any contacts there and see. No promises, but I'm trying to bring you new and exciting content. So that seems like a good lead that I can chase down. Now, if you are watching after the fact as a VOD on YouTube, take a look down at your navigation bar as I have added chapters to this video so that you can hop along to whatever section most appeals to you. But of course, I want to say hey to everyone hanging out. If you are tuning in, where in the world are you tuning in from? Weekend is here on the Twitch side. So is Joey Love. Welcome on in, you guys. We've got Quintus, the Bull. We got Lem over on the YouTube side. Thank you all for being here at the top of the show. We also have VG Junkie. It's good to have you here too. We are ramping up to some exciting things. Of course, if you joined us last week, you already saw the first of 5 Global Game Jam related streams where myself and one Mike Guy played through some of the Global Game Jam hits from over the years. And then last week, we also were met by 2 Unity insiders that provided a survival guide for Global Game Jam. And then today, we've got the brainstorm and planning phases of Team Unity's Jam. On Thursday, we're going to be doing a work session where we're bringing everyone together to polish off one very specific element that we'll get to once we get through today and know what we're working on. Of course, we are playing along with the Game Jam just as much as you are. And then join us next Tuesday where we will reveal our final product from the Jam. It's going to be a very good time. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are as well. The YouTube events are already live for the remaining 2 sessions from this Global Game Jam adventure. So feel free to go and bookmark those, hit that notify bell. And it's newly come upon my work that we're really focused in on comments, engagement, and all of that good stuff. So if you're hitting that like button, you're doing a great job for me in my year-end review. All right. And I'd really appreciate that personal favor. Also, I know we've put out this survey a couple of times. I think it's incredibly important. We want to know a little bit more about you and what type of content you want to see. We've said this before. We want to build this community space with you in mind, and we want that information. So if you have 3 minutes, you can go and fill out that survey. It's only 4 questions, a little about you and a little about what type of content you want to see. In that survey, we've seen that quite a few of you are lurkers. You come to the stream, you hang out, you put it on in the background. You're not engaged in chat. You're just watching. And thank you so much for being here. Your contributions are not any less important than everyone else's. But if you want to pop in and just let us know that you're hanging out, at least we can get some familiar faces, aka screen names, and all of those types of things. But either way, so grateful that you guys are here. And if you wouldn't mind giving us a little bit more information, I would really appreciate it. See, we've got Thetra over on the Twitch side saying, I'm one of those lurkers, popping in to say hey, and then just going back into the shadows. Generic Vibes is here on the Twitch side as well. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Of course, game jams are a special time for everybody in the game development community. I'm learning this the more that we're hanging out here. It's very important, and it's an awesome opportunity to bring everybody together like we often do in these live streams. Danco Games is here. Amaryl is over on the YouTube side as well. And to help you guys celebrate and maybe support you on your own game jam journey, we've got something special for you guys here. So this is a quick start asset bundle. If you guys go to the link in chat right now, or the link on screen, they're the same. You will get to the asset store link here for this $1 quick start asset bundle. Just in time for Global Game Jam, get a quick start bundle with $300+ of top art and tools for just $1. Available January 20th to January 27th. Visit the link on screen or in chat for more details. We will remind you about that again on Thursday's stream, but even if you're not planning to participate in Global Game Jam right now, this will be an asset. Unfortunate, unintended pun. This will be an asset for you guys to use again in your own future opportunities here. It's a great Kickstart guide, and we'll talk a little bit more about it with the team that we have. Because what's the plan for today? Of course, we're bringing together Team Unity. We've assembled the best of the best, some of the familiar faces, some first-time faces. We also see Joey Love here in the Twitch chat saying they just got the asset bundle. So it works. We know that much, and I hope that it helps you in your own content creation journey. We've also got AZ Coder and Busta Keaton here on the Twitch side. It's good to have you guys. All right. We are going to continue to pay attention to you. I'm not going to be able to respond to every single one of you. I'm going to try my best. But again, there is a very dedicated moment in which we will call upon you to help influence the project that the team is working on. I'll tell you ahead of time, the poll will take place on the Twitch side. So we've done this in the past with giveaways. Hop on over to the Twitch side. If you don't have an account, you can make one in 12 seconds. Follow the twitch.tv/Unity channel, and you will be able to participate. I am ready to go. I'm very excited. We've been talking to this team for over a week now, getting everybody ready, fired up, pumped up, good to go. Like I said, the best of the best, the brightest minds in the industry. Everybody, please welcome to the show, Team Unity. What up? How is everybody doing? It's great to have you all. How are things?
You're
sure chatting us up. I mean, like the brightest minds in the industry, man.
The brightest minds that
I don't know if I can live up to that, Jackson. Whoa.
We come with humility, chat.
We're humble.
Listen, to me, you're the smartest of the smarts. You know what I mean? In my 6 months here, every person I meet, I'm like, whoa, everyone here is brilliant. And you guys are no exceptions to that rule. So I'm very fortunate to be working alongside you guys and bringing you on for the squad here. Of course, if you are a familiar, a frequenter of the live streams, you, of course, will recognize some of these faces. We, of course, have had Sarah, Kirk, and Joy on for streams in the recent past. But James is a newcomer. So if we can give a lovely welcome to James in the chat, we would love to see that. James, how you feeling at your first live stream?
This is not my first live stream, but it's my first live stream with you.
You predate me.
Actually, yeah, that's right.
I'm the rookie here. Who knew?
But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited about this. Yeah, it's been a while since I've personally did some game deving. But I'm super excited about some, just what we were able to come up with and the people that we have. We have some pretty talented folks. So
see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. James gets it.
I don't know about me, but like everyone else here.
No, absolutely. So I want to say that I have like a meta goal in all of this. I want James to become re-addicted to game development and have it be the only thing he thinks about 24/7. That's my goal here, is to be like, oh yeah.
It's not difficult to do that. Like I know, I will definitely do that.
one must always pursue easily accomplishable goals. And yeah.
An addiction is one of those very achievable goals.
I mean, addiction's a dangerous tool here, but
Not when it comes to game development.
Yeah, the game development. Just want to clarify.
Good.
For the subtitles.
Yeah, we'll put it there. It's on the official. Include the whole quote when we hit headlines. Great. When we started this up, we said, Joy, who again has joined us for numerous game jams. Joy, who do you want? Who do you want me to get? And then I went and started knocking on doors. And then, to be fair, Joy did most of the heavy lifting anyways. But Joy did say James is brilliant. James is a great game dev, and he's been out of it for too long. I know he loves it. Let's bring him back. And now we got
missed
James.
the radio voice. We missed the guidance. Yeah. I totally forgot there were streams that you're. Oh man, yeah. Vet.
Because it's been too long.
That's what it is.
We need James to fall back in love.
Okay, so again, familiar faces. We've got some new faces. Let's go around the room for anyone who's joining us for perhaps their first stream, or they're not here for every stream. How could you? But thank you so much for being here. We're going to get you guys a little more familiar with our guests. So we're going to start with Sarah. We're going to go clockwise around the room here. What I want to hear from you, and we simplified this because I keep asking people their favorite game and everyone panics. Instead, we're just going to, who are you? What do you do at Unity? Maybe how long have you been here? And what have you been playing lately?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
I'm a content producer here at Unity for the pro training team. So what I do is I help create our on-demand content for the pro training platform. So that's going to be pre-recorded courses. So if you've ever gone on Unity Pro Training, you might hear my voice in some of those videos. And if you haven't, you should definitely check out Pro Training. We're primarily targeted towards businesses like industry, but we also do some gaming content as well. And something I've been playing a lot recently is I've started playing Pal World. It's really
Whoa.
Yeah, like with all the buzz around it, like I've had a couple of buddies that have been playing it for a while, and I finally cracked. I'm like, fine, I'll play this game. And like I just didn't think it was gonna be that fun. But like now I'm addicted, man. It's crazy. Like I clock out of my 8-hour shift here, and then I clock into my 8-hour Pal World shift there. It's nuts.
Well, you have to run a business essentially, right? You've got to run the whole base. You got to automate things. You got it. I get it. You got to you're hiring and firing. Firing usually results in death, but you know, I get it. I get it. Pal World, best played with pals. I obsessed over it for like 4 weeks when it first came out. I totally get it. I'm glad. Let's turn our attention, everybody, swiftly now to Kirk. Kirk, thank you for welcoming in our newcomer. Uninstaller on the YouTube side says hello.
Thank you.
Welcome on in.
Yeah, me and Joy are in the chat. So if you're chatting, say hi.
Yeah. We're paying attention to the chat. We're going to try and involve you guys as much as possible, but sometimes we'll have the panel throwing their answers and responses in the chat itself.
Yeah.
Kirk, who are you? What do you do here? What you been playing lately?
I'm Kirk. I'm a human being. And actually, I used to have Sarah's old job. So that's one fun fact. I used to be on Pro Training, and I was also the content producer for that team. So if there is a disembodied voice with my voice to it, that's me.
Hold on, time out, pause before we move on.
Yeah.
If there was a video with my voice, it was me. I just want to make sure.
Is that what I said?
I'm pretty sure, but it's very clear.
You hear my voice? That is in fact me.
That is exactly. I just want to
as opposed to someone else who stole your voice.
You never know.
It was actually Sarah. If you hear a video with Kirk's voice, it's Sarah.
I do a really good Kirk impression.
This is the truth of the internet.
It's true. You do have to clarify. Honestly, we are at that point. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail your intro.
No, you're good.
Especially to be a dick about it. Go ahead. I was being a jerk.
You're good. You're good. So now, if I'm not doing Sarah's job, I'm doing my job, which is a senior community manager, focused on new users. So hi teachers, hi students in the world, hi people who are starting their Unity journey. You'll probably see me on discussions, Discord. I've been at Unity for 5 years. game I'm playing right now, I whipped out my Pikachu new 3DS XL a week ago and started going through tens of cartridges, like too many cartridges, and I've been playing Elite Beat Agents and The World Ends With You.
Wow.
So,
oh my goodness, very good classics.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'm so excited to travel with my 3DS again, and I forgot Street Pass was a thing. So,
Street Pass
is
was
it
fun.
still?
Yeah, are you still collecting Street Passes?
I got one on the
running.
weekend. Yeah, when I went to H Mart, it was pretty cool.
Dude,
Yo.
okay, everybody break out your 3DSs for GDC. I want to experiment.
This is where it starts.
I need to
the
find
the
it.
Unity Twitch stream. This is
Nintendo needs to bring that back for the Switch
Need to
too.
find it.
You're welcome,
Honestly,
Nintendo.
Oh,
that would
man.
be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The World Ends With You. Did that get a remake or just
It
a port
did
to Switch?
on the Switch.
Yeah.
I don't know if the mechanics were because the DS version was super janky, but
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
it was, but it was also
It was-
the first time I played it, and it was amazing.
it was
Loved
amazing. It's still amazing.
Yeah. It's an amazing game. If you haven't played it, absolutely highly recommend.
I'll
So that's
add it
what
to
we'll
my list.
make. That's what
We've
we'll
got
make
some
for the
travel.
jam. Yeah,
That's what we're gonna make. We're just gonna make that game.
they're gonna make that game.
No.
Copy paste.
Yeah, in a week. Yeah,
Copy
no,
paste.
it's fine. We'll be able
Well,
to
there's
whip that out,
4
no
of
problem.
you.
Something like
Like,
Yeah,
5 if you count Jackson. Come on.
I'm just here to apparently cause a
Jackson,
ruckus.
If you just work some of those mechanics as well, we'll be fine.
I can hop in.
Absolutely fine.
I can hop in. I'll learn. I'm a fast learner. Kirk, welcome to the stream. We're turning our attention swiftly to Joy, the
Me?
legend. Joy,
Hey.
who are you? What do you
Capital
do
L,
here? What you been
legend.
playing?
Hello, everybody. My name is Joy Horvath. I'm a senior program manager for Elevate. Elevate is a program here at Unity that is dedicated to helping users find their first job in games. If somebody could drop the Elevate webpage, if somebody has an opportunity in chat, that would be awesome. But yeah, so my entire world is about helping things get better for people trying to break into games. What I have been playing lately, listen, you guys, I want to be clear that before this, I had gone through the Silent Hill 2 remake, and I put a good 32 hours into my first playthrough. But then let's just say I'm on year 2 in spring again of Stardew Valley. So I'm back on the farm, guys, and I will say that it's not just like, Groundhog's Day. I actually did advance and do things differently. I now have sheep and pigs for the first time. I always just kind of got ducks and chickens and a cow, and that was it. And I was happy. Oh yeah, I also got goats for the first time as well. I got it all. So yeah. I got my first duck feather. I haven't gotten a truffle yet, but yeah, I am back to put another couple 100 hours into that game.
Joy yearns for the mines.
Straight up, no, I've already gotten to the bottom, so it's fine. Here's the Concerned Ape has my attention at all times, I guess is what I'm getting at here. That's me. That I'm just in Stardew Valley. Good old
haunted chocolatier. Excited.
Oh, yeah, of course. But the thing is, here's the thing. I have such respect for Concerned Ape that if he wants to just keep focusing on Stardew Valley, go for it. Do not stress. Do whatever is perfect for you. That dev, it's just, he could do whatever. I am just, no pressure. Do not stress the man out. He's got his own thing. That's all.
Stardew Valley got one fan. It's you.
I can guarantee
they got no fans. You died.
No. My news feed, Google realized I was back in Stardew Valley. It's okay, so that's all you care about right now. And to be fair, yes, that's great. That's great. So my entire news feed is just different Stardew Valley tips, and the occasion will is Haunted Chocolatier coming? And that's perfect.
I've never heard of this indie game called Stardew Valley.
What?
Must be, and I'm just kidding.
Where have you been since 2016, sir?
The wrath of the internet was about to fall on you.
It's okay.
Our producer's in the Twitch chat and says, I literally played Stardew co-op with my wife for 6 hours last night. So you're in good company, Joy, which is fantastic. Joy, welcome back to the stream.
Hello.
James, our returning guest here, our vet. Who are you? What do you do here? What you been playing lately?
Hi, everyone. I am James. I work on the Unity Learn website. So I'm the lead of the content production there. So if you've ever used Unity Learn for any of our tutorials, It was my team that has most likely created them, or some other team that we've worked with to help create them. I've been at Unity since 2017. And I originally started on the asset store for the first couple of years. What am I currently playing? I've got a problem. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Is it farm shaped?
I tried to make this. I was like, I'll make it simpler, and then it's turned into like everyone's got a beef or a story or go. Oh, I love it.
It's
theme of addiction is strong.
Yeah, it's an addiction. I have a problem, and it's called Marvel Rivals.
Oh,
me too, James. It's all I play.
Yup.
It is such a good game. If you're a fan of Overwatch, it's I don't want to say it's a better version of Overwatch. It's a newer version. I'll just say it's a newer version with some interesting ideas. And I've fallen in love with it. And like, it's Marvel characters, you know? It's like, how can you not, you know, especially growing up as a comic book fan and all the comic book movies, you have all of your favorite characters, and each one of them plays so differently from one another that it's like you're playing a completely different game with each character that you're playing as. So it's just always so fresh and exciting. And I've kind of already put in way too many hours into that game, even though it just launched in December.
Sleepy Space Sloth on Twitch says, "Nah, it's better."
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
You said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah. For me, I like that there's, like you said, a different character plays completely differently. It's like a different game as you're jumping around. But there's also, for people that aren't like quick, twitchy shooter experts, there's other characters that you can play that don't require you to be super accurate or super experienced. And I think the approachability on it's awesome. We also have Nick Sims saying, "I thought I recognized James from Unity Learn." And we had Joey Love saying, "Thanks, James. Your resources help a ton."
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, just to clarify the reason why I am recognizable on Learn, if you haven't checked it out, and myself and Joy, we're both the faces of some of the pathways that you'll see. So, yeah.
It is something that we have tossed around for these live streams, that somebody, and people are like, "Well, it has to be you, Jackson." And I'm like, I don't want it to be me, but that we have someone go through all of the learning essentials pathway, just as like a newcomer.
It should totally be you.
You almost like, it's kind of like you want to learn along with us, right?
Yeah. I don't have the bravery that everyone else has. And when I see you guys doing live code on a stream, I can see some hesitation and concern from people. And then if it's me, I'm like, I'm just going to melt down. So I don't know. It's something that we might do anyways. But
there's no code.
Should be me.
There's no code in the first like pathway, like essentials. It's just like getting up and running with Unity. There's no fear. For those of you that have been around a while, there's no risk of not remembering what an enum is. That's a deep cut at this point. So like, it's foolproof, man. We designed it for newbies.
You made it for me?
I made it for you.
In our planning docs, we were like, "Do you know Jackson Stevens, the person that's been across our path in about X amount of years?"
Yeah, that's true. We did consult the Oracle on that one.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, that's how all Unity Learn projects go, is that we consult the Oracle, and it's like,
there's a lot of Oracle hires.
Yeah.
Way more than you would expect. But if I have the support of chat and they're here and they want to help me along through the process, then maybe it's something that we could do. Again, welcome on in, everybody. If you're watching live, we're just getting ready for our Global Game Jam kickoff with Team Unity here. I think it's time that we dive into Global Game Jam. Kirk, I know you have been working closely with the Global Game Jam team. You've been working on some of their live streams. Yeah. Do you want to provide a general overview of Global Game Jam, what they do, and what this year looks like? Because we also have a question in chat from Grash Uriza saying the Global Game Jam used to be a 48-hour jam. When did they move to a week long?
Interesting. That's a great question. I'll answer that in just moments. Also, you were just reading my mind because I
Googling in the background.
I wasn't looking at the Rona show. I totally forgot this was a point because I was like, when do we get to shout out the Global Game Jam team? So yes, it's not just me. Jackson has been working with the team. A lot of other people in our ecosystem growth team has been working with Global Game Jam. So shout outs to Jess running all the streams over on the Global Game Jam YouTube channel. And Taria posting all those awesome posts on Discord and social. The education team, I believe, decided to sponsor Global Game Jam this year. It's been awesome. Why is it a week? Because 3 days of intense game jamming is fun, but it could be longer. So that's the thing. And then what can I say about this year?
So we've got a theme and a diversifier.
We do.
What I would love to hear, what's the difference for someone who might not know? Not me, but someone else who might not know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so what is Global Game Jam if this is your first time and this is the stream that you're learning about it? So Global Game Jam is the biggest game creation event in the world all the time. I saw the stat for Unity made games. I think there's over 3,300 Unity games that were made in 2024, and that number has just been growing up steadily. There is a theme that was announced yesterday, Sunday, at 0 GMT. I think that's how you say the time. 0 GMT, like at noon.
So yesterday was Monday.
Sorry, Sunday. It was announced on Sunday. So people have started, but the official start is usually on a Friday. So there are a lot of physical sites that you can go to around the world to game jam with other people. It's also a online event. So you could jam with a hybrid site. Go to www.globalgamejam.org. Right? Did I get that right?
Yeah,
cool.
I put the link in chat as well.
Yeah. Please do that. And then you could search for sites around you. You could search for online sites. And you could even play some of the alumni games on there and learn more about the history of Global Game Jam. And like Jackson alluded to, there is a theme that is picked. And there are diversifiers, which is, if you think about it, like you're playing a game and you have your score, it's like a multiplier. So like a nice little challenge for your brain waves if you want to make this game jam a little bit. No, I don't want to say difficult. Like we just want that extra
dynamic.
Step. Yeah, that extra pep in your game jam step. Whoa.
Don't get on that t-shirt.
I was gonna say you've been working with Game Jam and it shows. You've got your advertising brain for Global Game Jam. It's working.
Thank you. It's been my on my first Global Game Jam stream with Jess. I showed my first Game Jam game. It was back in 2012. So
wow.
Yeah, that was my first global. I haven't done every Global Game Jam, but I have been jamming since 2012, and I did have a gallbladder attack in 2015.
During the jam?
During the jam, yes.
Wow. It'd be real weird if it wasn't. He just threw that in.
And fun fact about me. I was
you guys want to hear something?
All right, if you want. Awesome. So theme and diversifier, there has been some conversation that we had leading into this. Some of the jam sites are keeping a lockdown on the theme until you arrive at the site. So if you are one of the people that are trying to avoid the information about the theme, this is your disclaimer now to either put on earmuffs or maybe come back to the stream in a moment because we're going to tell you about it.
We'll be talking about the theme a lot.
And it's going to come up more than once. We are seeing a couple of questions about Global Game Jam in the chat. We, of course, have put the link in there. You can go and find all the details that you want. I know we talked about the sites and how to go and find sites for yourself, live, physical, actual locations. However, you do not need to be in a physical site. So all the details you need and more on globalgamejam.org. Now, for Global Game Jam 2025, what is our theme and what are some of the diversifiers?
So can I get like a drum roll, like a brrr? Can everyone just go it? All right.
Great way to mess with the audio of the stream, but yes.
Sure. Sorry, VOD. The Global Game Jam theme for 2025 is bubbles.
Wow.
Yay,
freaking out,
bubble.
man.
You're freaking out, man. There's
freaking
bubbles
out.
And then diversifiers. So theme is bubbles. Diversifiers. I'll read the one that Unity came up with. So thank you, Global Game Jam's team, for letting us sponsor one of the diversifiers. The Unity diversifiers unite generations. Design a game that engages multiple generations. This could range from a game designed to be played with your grandparents to including intergenerational characters to drawing inspiration from music through the decades. So that's ours. And then there's other ones, Peace Formers, Nurture Yourself with Nature. I'm going to take this link and I'm going to post it in the YouTube chat and in the Twitch chat. But yeah, theme is bubbles.
So we're here.
Avalux says sounds fishy.
Yeah. Oh, Ollie.
Let's hear some bubble puns. Let's go.
No, don't. Please, God, no.
Why not?
No, puns.
It drives engagement.
Puns. Somehow my brain simultaneously loves, admires, and hates and despises puns. And I don't know. It's like an equal 50-50. So it's an internal conflict that happens for me constantly. But if you guys have bubble-related puns, I will read them and you will see me chuckle to myself.
Yeah, Chad, just pop off. Just
go
pop
ahead.
Off.
Punching the wall right now.
Got
him. Anyhow, so that is the overview. Now, we assembled this team over the last week or so. You guys have come together. It is worth pointing out that we are excited for this. We want to create a game for this jam, but we will not be submitting as we are sponsors of the jam, and that would be a conflict of interest. Therefore, we are going to show you guys our final product next Tuesday, same time and place. We'll, of course, be putting all of that information out there for you guys to be aware of. The YouTube events are already live on the live stream page, so go and check those out. But as we have been kind of leading up and preparing for this, you guys have put in a little bit of work, and I'd like to kind of catch everybody up in the community about how we got to where we are and what we're already working with. And then, of course, there is a moment where we are going to do a poll in the Twitch chat so you guys can pick from a number of options and influence which direction Team Unity goes. So, James, are you the one to take the lead on this,
James
on
is
what
our
we've done so far?
Design leader.
I think so. I think I can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
Yahoo.
So, as Jackson mentioned, we have talked about this. We haven't necessarily talked about, so I have some game ideas, but I haven't shared them with the team yet. And actually, before we begin, I think it might be helpful for us to maybe identify who's working on what
roles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it. I was like, do we do which first, James? I love where your brain's at. Do we want to go through who's got what responsibilities?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
I can start. I am going to be the game designer / level designer of the team.
Yeah, go James. Yay. I will jump in and say I'm very excited. I'm doing something a little bit different than you guys have seen me do before on stream. This time around, I'm going to do all the art stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. And Joy is amazing at art stuff. So
Aw,
looking forward to that.
shucks.
Cool. Or you're going counterclockwise? Or
Yep.
I guess
as my
so.
brother-in-law
Yeah.
says, anti-clockwise.
Canadian clockwise, whatever works.
Yeah. I'll be a gameplay programmer. More specifically, I'm just laying like the base layer of the cake because I will be game jamming in person as well. So
Yay.
yeah, that's what
I will be
doing.
doing all of the other programming and helping implement whatever needs to be done. Oh, the pointing. Sorry,
You're
that
gonna
got
fix
me.
the bugs on level 3.
And
Yeah. I'm gonna
Okay.
fix the open world, the yeah, whatever needs to get
Yeah,
done.
you're going to program our MMO, right?
Yeah,
Our world ends with you MMO about bubbles.
exactly.
I will be here for moral support, and that's my role.
Yay,
And that's
Jackson's
super
the
important.
leader.
That's really important. We need
That's
that.
what I'm here for.
Mm.
So we've got everyone's roles. James, you came up with multiple ideas for games, and that
Yes.
makes me very excited.
Wait until you hear the ideas. So before going into the ideas, just to give context, so Joy, Sarah, Kirk, and I met last week before the theme was even announced to kind of discuss like what exactly do we kind of want to do given the time limit and everything like that. And so we decided on a couple of things ahead of time. We obviously, to keep the scope small, we want to keep the game very like easy to make, but also easy to play. And so we're initially thinking around like creating some kind of arcade-like experience. And then I don't know how this discussion came about, but there was also a discussion around claw machines.
It's because of my YouTube algorithm. That's why.
Got it. Okay, so it came about through Kirk. And so there's an idea around maybe we should include claw machines in this, in a game that we
Shout out to Clawmaster on YouTube.
Yes. I went down a rabbit hole through those videos.
Nice, I love it.
Clawmaster is it's a pretty fun watch.
Super goated.
So the ideas that you'll hear, some of them you'll hear kind of revolve around those things that we talked about. I have a couple of other ideas that maybe aren't as much, but I very much want to say I'm not tied to any of these ideas, and I'm super okay with like scrapping them all and starting from scratch as a team, or taking elements from the different ideas and seeing what we can come up with. And if those of you in chat are interested in like throwing out ideas, like please feel free, happy to kind of engage you all and make sure that you're all a part of this experience too.
Yep. James just exemplified one of the first golden rules of game jams. He will let ideas go if you like.
Oh, yes. Yes, I am not married to any of these ideas. But I guess to start, do you want Jackson? Do you want to share the Fig Jam board and we can start like brainstorming and things like that? Like I can share some of the ideas, and then I'd love to kind of just like turn this into a conversation and how
also says ideas better start popping.
Son of a gun.
I think everyone's just on the.
Oh, I like that.
Overflow exception says our game is a science-based dragon MMO.
Yeah. Is that what you had in mind when you said let's let the community help influence the game?
That's perfect.
Is that what you had in mind?
It sounds great, yeah.
Maybe not exactly. But...
all right. Let me make sure that I'm sharing the right tab for you all. All right. Good. Let's not do that.
Dude.
Perfect. So we have this set up for you all. This is our brainstorm whiteboard. Yay!
I gotta get in there.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh yeah. Are we doing a high fives?
Yeah. Everybody high five. Yeah.
I'm sure this won't be difficult.
Oh,
so
there we go.
There you go.
Apparently, just swing it back and forth.
Not a Unity made game. Just want to say.
My tip for everybody is that if you're going to use collaboration tools, make sure that they have the most distracting features humanly possible. That's going to ensure your team's level of efficiency on a time crunch. You know what I mean?
It's also like an indication of our maturity, and we are so mature. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I do want to call out before we dive into this portion that Bazoo Studio says I was using Unreal for the last couple of years making Fortnite maps, but I want to get back into Unity. I do networking, C# and art. Anyone looking for team members or want to start something. And I've seen a couple of other people as well. Someone was mentioning that they are a sound designer, which is always in demand for these types of things. What I'd recommend is you guys check out the discussions pages or the Discord, where you can connect with other people in the Unity community and maybe find some teammates or collaborators yourself.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. Make teams.
Nice, Kirk. All right. So I'm just kind of setting up a little columns here for each of the game ideas.
And just for chat to like put yourself, let's cosplay. Well, we are jamming, but pretend you're at your jam site. There's pizza in the air. You just met your friend.
In the air.
Pizza in the air.
We've got
you're just like
we got the
weaving and dodging.
Yeah.
Don't get hit by some of it. Only the good stuff.
It's good for your skin, Jackson, when you get hit with pizza.
Oh, I think the opposite might be true.
All right. So let's talk game ideas.
Yeah.
Game idea number 1. I am tentatively calling it Don't Burst Your Bubble. And so this idea, I'll just kind of maybe go through like the game loop. The core game loop is that the player is using a claw machine to pick up bubbles and deposit them for points. And so essentially what you're trying to do is pick up these bubbles that could have varying density, and there's going to be a power meter where the player has to make sure not to grip the bubble too hard or it'll burst, or have it or grip it too lightly and it'll fall. Well, thank you for the teamwork and
this is what it's all about.
Taking notes. Yes.
Shout outs to Aaron Sharp for teaching us how to take good notes.
Yes, Aaron's great at taking notes. So yeah, that's kind of like just the gist of the game. And we could also like implement maybe different types of bubbles. So maybe there's ice bubbles that are harder. And so you have to like grip it a bit harder than other bubbles to keep it from slipping out. Yeah. There can be maybe like rubber bubbles where it's I forgot to mention, as you're picking up a bubble, you can also move the claw around as it's going to the deposit area. And so you might also have to avoid obstacles or things that might want to pop your bubble or keep you from depositing it. And so like the rubber bubble could maybe bounce against the walls or bounce off of different objects or whatnot. And then you have your, your regular bubbles, which is like you have to hold it very lightly. And yeah, I mean, there could be, I think from there, have different ideas around, like we can do different levels based on like bubble themes, or just have a single level where it's just like try and score as many points as you want.
Ooh, like a point attack, a leaderboard style game.
Exactly.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
So maybe there's a time limit, and then your goal is to try and deposit as many bubbles as you can within the time frame. Now for diversifier, this is where things got a little tricky, but there's a couple of ideas here, and I definitely would love your guys' input. So the diversifier I'm leaning towards, and this might seem like a cop-out, but I don't know if it is actually. So as a reminder, our diversifier that we're working with is Unite Generations. And so one of the parts of the descriptions of that specifically mentioned create a game that you can play with your grandparents. And so I'm taking that context and that idea, and what if we design a game that's accessible for people of all generations?
One button.
That's going to be fun for kids, adults, and your grandparents. And so that could be our diversifier. I don't know if that's a cop-out, but just saying that's an idea. Another idea was, what if inside the bubble there were people? And your goal for the game is to deposit the bubbles, and each person belongs to a family. Maybe you have your kid, you have your adult, and you have your older person, and you're trying to basically unite this family, this generation, through this claw machine. So that's another idea.
How did they get in the claw machine to begin with?
A series of unfortunate events.
There you go.
Thank you. Yes.
We don't need lore necessarily, I guess, right?
Totally need it.
I mean,
we had an oracle.
I like Joy's
origin
lore.
story. We can just there's magic in this world that we're using.
In a world where, and I'm just kidding.
So I will take a pause there. That's the gist of game idea number 1. Any thoughts, questions, concerns?
I have a thought.
We had Toak in the Twitch chat say the claw may get hot, so ice bubbles would be a target that you avoid for a moment. I kind of like that. Like we talked about the different bubbles, maybe different effects that happen on the claw machine itself as well, which would be cool.
Yeah, I immediately think of like, for the claw getting hot, what if there's an obstacle where there's just like fire, and if your claw goes through that as it's descending, then it's hot and you can't pick up an ice bubble.
I like that.
I like it.
How about
also saying they tried to grab the toy through the hatch and they got stuck, and that's how they got stuck in the.
What a good, nice form of narrative.
You got your lore.
Sarah, you were going to say something?
Yeah. That reminds me of like the balloons tower defense bubbles or balloons, I guess. Like they have all these different types. I don't know. I just found
cool.
Could maybe do something like that. Like kind of take inspiration, have like different kinds of bubbles with different. Yeah. I'm
Absolutely.
Brain is turning.
I'm gonna go for a deeper cut. Remember that Sarah Bareilles song where like she's stuck in a machine and it's old? And like it breaks down in the middle of the music video. How about if the claw itself, like you could use it, but it's like chugging along and it gets better over time. So not only do you have the different bubbles, but it's like I picture like smoke coming out of the claw, and at first it could only work like for like one bubble, And then when you pick up the bubbles and reunite families, the claw like heals itself or something.
Interesting.
It's better and better.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Cute.
All right, so that is
Okay.
Don't Burst Your Bubble. And again, we'll kind of give you the overview again because we'll be putting this to a vote. That being said, we're not using this as an absolute form of democracy, whatever the top pick. If it's like the conversation amongst the team is, well, we can't, that's not the one we want to riff off of wholeheartedly, but we will use it to, I think it's fair to, we'll take the top 2 from the vote and then discuss amongst ourselves and make that decision. Maybe we end up doing the one that the community came up with anyways, but I think just as a disclaimer. So we'll go through them all again as we set up the poll.
Are we going to allude to the chat ideas after our game ideas, or should we shout them out as we go through game ideas? Because there's some really good ideas / comments in chat right now.
I mean, just interstitially. So Davina saying that there's a game, make a game around popping bubble wrap. You can pop them with items, hammers,
That's
pins.
fun for all generations.
That is.
And the game is silly in all ages.
Yeah.
There you go.
The bowl. My first thoughts went to chat bubbles and social bubbles. I like it.
Yeah.
I definitely tried thinking of like outside of just, you know, bubbles. I tried thinking of like games for like social bubbles and things like that. It's difficult given our time constraint and keeping the scope small. But I did kind of come up with an idea. It's not fully fleshed out, but we'll get to that. So for game idea number 2, I tentatively call this Bubble Slayer.
Ooh.
And this is another claw-like game, but the object of this game is to actually destroy as many bubbles as you can.
Ooh.
And so, and I got this idea by watching Clawmaster Kirk, and I noticed their trick around, like, you know, the claw machine where they're like moving it around really like erratically. It got me thinking about like, well, what if you could use the claw as like a, I don't know. I immediately thought of like a fighting game. Like, what if you like you're a claw and you're fighting against other people and you're just like bashing against them, or you're picking them up and then like throwing them against the wall or something like that. That's another idea. But for this idea, sticking with the bubble theme, obviously, I was thinking like, well, yeah, there could be different types of bubbles and they all break in different ways. And so your goal is to try and destroy as many bubbles as possible. And for each bubble that you destroy, you get points. And so like some of them you have to squeeze really hard, like an ice bubble or something like that, for it to snap or for it to break. For like a rubber bubble, you have to like slam it against like something sharp in the claw machine for it to pop. You could also like drop the ice bubble on lighter bubbles. Like if you pull it back up and then drop it, you can use physics for it to like, you know, destroy a bunch of other bubbles. You could also like as you start the game, you can maybe like have the claw drop down really hard and burst a bunch of bubbles, things like that. And so but this game idea, I found it difficult to come up with a diversifier, so maybe that's a discussion point. Is like, what could we do with this game idea to include the Unite Generations diversifier? Again, like we could try and just make this accessible and fun for all ages, but I don't know. Is this going to be a game idea that like your grandparents would want to play? I don't know. I don't know about that. But
how prominent were claw machines in different generations?
Yeah, I think they've been around for a while.
Like the 80s was the height of arcade culture, right? And that's when I would have expected to see more claw machines.
Which, funny enough, Jackson, one of the diversifiers in accessibility is old school. Your game's control scheme would fit onto a 1980s joystick or paddle.
Well, there we go. That sounds pretty good here.
It could be a
I like seeing the ideas that we have here in the chat. There's some really cool stuff. Of course, Grand Theft Auto 6 is a solid one. And if we could,
if
we could, we would. Werewolf / Mafia adds social deduction elements, which is kind of neat. Yeah. Keep them coming, gang. And if you have ideas for your own, we'd love to hear them. I know we have people asking about how to join. We put the resources in the chat there for the Global Game Jam site. We got the legend Mike Geig in the YouTube chat saying claw machines have been around since the 1920s. So I think just by having a claw machine, we've done it. We've united,
bro. Is that
we've
Mike
united the generations.
Cool. Okay.
So this was number 2, and we named it Bubble Slayer, correct?
Yes. Again, tentative names, does not have to be that. But
awesome.
Yeah. Game idea number 3. Not as fun of a name, but Bubble Popper. And this is moving away from the claw machines. And this would be more of I think this would be definitely an accessible game where you're literally just playing with your mouse. And it's just a bunch of bubbles flying across the screen. And they're all at different points. And your goal is could be 2-pronged. One could either be you're just shooting as many bubbles as you can to try and get as many points as you can. There could also be an element of this, though, where maybe your gun or whatever inflates the bubbles. And the more you inflate the bubble and it pops, it maybe pops the surrounding bubbles around it to give you a multiplier or something like that.
Yeah.
Shoot as many bubbles as well.
Yeah, and then maybe the bubbles fly across the screen at varying rates and sizes and whatnot. So maybe as if a bubble's flying very fast, you can either, if you pop it, you get more points, or if you inflate it, you slow it down, but maybe you get less points. Yeah, that's kind of all I have. So
no, it's good.
Very intriguing. Yeah.
I like this idea so far because it has the most design affordances for the main mechanic, and the loop is very clear. So I could see number 3 in an actual game sense more than the others. Yeah.
And Jackson, I wanted to call out great job on quickly adjusting the typo of the title earlier, because that would have been an entirely different game.
I wrote
Joy,
Bubble Poop.
I saw you almost crack.
I actually did that on the document that I'm working off of. I did that for the first time too.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
But
Mike in the chat suggested Dr. Bubble Popper, and then I thought of Dr. Pimple Popper.
Mike calls it out as a 2-player PvP deathmatch where you're both bubbles and it's a rock'em sock'em style fight.
Ooh, and they're just like this.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Or Punch Out, but it's all bubble characters, but it's still the same, learning the rhythms and the patterns and bob and weave, that sort of stuff. That'd be cool. I kind of like that. Yeah. Of course, we joke, we put out fun ideas, we put out ideas. I often find that in brainstorm sessions in the past, putting out a silly, dumb idea often leads to good ideas where you're like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if we did this? And you're like, wait, but actually, what if we did this? So we have Weekend calling out a horror game in an underwater bubble dome, fun for the whole family. And I want to reference the most stressful bubble-related moment in all of gaming. And let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Sonic drowning theme.
Yes.
Oh, with the music.
Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Terrifying.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Terrifying.
He does the walk up.
That's great. That's a great impression.
Thanks.
Mike says the good ideas are the only ones I have. Let's dive into game idea number 4 here.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Weekend was the one that came up with the horror underwater dome. Did you Weekend? Did you look at my document, because that is essentially what game idea number 4 is?
Oh no!
Shout out to Weekend.
So, yes, game number 4. The idea, the name.
Prophecy.
I could not think of a name, so I just put "Stay in Your Bubble." And basically, this is the less fleshed out of each of the ideas, but the core idea was that you're a player inside of a bubble, whether it could be underwater, it could be in space, I don't know, whatever the setting will be, but basically you're in the safety of this bubble. However, you have to find your family or things that are outside of the bubble. And when you exit the bubble, it's dangerous outside of the bubble. And so whether there's goons, or if it's underwater, sharks or whatever, they're out to get you. And so you have to quickly go and when you exit the bubble, go and try and find someone, bring them back into the bubble, and then kind of do that multiple times until you saved everyone.
Ooh. Ooh, I really like that. But I mean, I am a horror game fiend, so
Me
like
too.
maybe that's not surprising, but I really like that idea.
Mike Geig with, staying true to his brand of only creating good ideas. Call it Comfort Zone.
Oh, also very good.
Thank you, Mike. Yes.
Carry
Maybe you should be a part of this team, Mike.
We invited Mike. Mike's got to go to Spain. Oh, terrible.
You can go to Spain at any time.
It'll be there.
Only the biggest global game night of all time.
If it's me personally, this might be my favorite. I like a good horror game as well, but also something about I feel like the core game loop is really clean here, where it's like you are leaving to collect resources. You are aware of the threats and the potential. There's always a pressure on you from a time perspective because oxygen or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And you are trying to collect everything in return. There's a clear win state. I do like that the other ones seem very like leaderboard focused, which I think is awesome as well. But there's something about this one specifically that speaks to me. Again, we've kind of got the 4 options here. Don't burst your bubble, bubble slayer, bubble popper, and stay in your bubble. So we've got those 4 options. Is there any other details or ideas that we want to bounce off of each other for these before we get a feel for how our community is feeling about it?
Quick comment about your jumping off what you said, Jackson. I think the coolest game jam ideas are the ones that aren't exactly on the nose, but just like goes 1 or 2 levels below like what you think. So stay in your bubble is actually like, as you pitch that, I'm like, I could see that.
Yeah.
That sounds very good. Yeah.
Also, I don't know how you guys are feeling about this, but like hearing about stay in your bubble / comfort zone, like my first thought was like, what if you're like a frog or something? Like a little froggy guy deep under the water. Just saying. Frogs are very cool.
Frogs are in vogue right now.
Or like if you were a tiny fish and everyone else was a bigger fish.
Ooh.
I originally also was thinking of like maybe the scuba divers or something like that, where when you're swimming around, it's you have maybe like a jetpack underwater or something like that boosts you, but you can only it's a limited resource and you can only refill it when you're back at the bubble. Yeah. So you have to conserve that, especially during dangerous situations if something's chasing you.
It reminds me of like Subnautica, all the big monsters
where my brain went to.
Yeah. I was just about to put it.
Which
it could be like a Subnautica type with the.
They do not tell you that game's a horror game, and then you get into it, and there are some of the most intense jump scares I've ever encountered in games. I do want to call out a couple of people in the chat here. We got Spirit Warrior saying, what about a bubble wrap roll where you're popping with your fingers, but each time you pop one, there's a risk of a spike. So it's bubbles popping, but it's kind of like Minesweeper. So it gives you that information, that core Minesweeper gameplay puzzle, but with a bubble twist. And I kind of like that.
I don't like imagining me popping a bubble wrap and then there being a spike under there. Like
way to take the most like passively enjoyable Zen moment and put high risk on it. We have Davina also calling it bubble boy or bubble girl. Like in the movie, you're in a hamster bubble style ball rolling around a virtual world. Let's shout out Monkey Ball. That would be fun. That's where my brain goes on that. I kind of like
Monkey
that.
Ball.
I mean, I don't know if that's something viable for us. But I like it a lot. It also wasn't there like a Kirby golf game way back when?
Yeah, on the Game Boy.
Help me on the Game Boy.
Canvas something Kirby.
There's a Kirby game. If anyone knows the title and gives it to me, the first one gets at least 1 cool point. I'll give you that.
Is it Canvas Curse?
Official. That doesn't ring a bell, but also I don't think I played it myself. I've just seen it on a bunch of lists and stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely played it. I just don't remember the name.
Kirby's Dream Course.
Like spherical.
Kirby's Dream Course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. I also feel like calling out Marble Madness. It's marble, not a bubble, but like same vibe.
Same vibe for sure. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, gang. We are going to set this poll to 3 minutes here on the Twitch side. You can come over here if you don't already have a Twitch account. It should take you no time at all to make one real quick. Hop in our chat, twitch.tv/unity, and vote on this. We just want to see what you guys think will be most interesting, and we will use it to inform what we choose with our game design ideas here. Go ahead, Kirk.
Oh, I was going to say, picking the idea will lead down two very distinct paths because we have 3 ideas that are physics based, 1 through 3, and then the 4th one is not physics based. So that's like a thing to think about. That's just saying.
Sorry, it's a good thing to call out, and it's the silence that followed it was not indicative of what you said. It was we are distracted high-fiving each other.
Okay, go on.
I don't want you to feel like
I get it a lot.
I hated this idea.
Hold on, Kirk. I gotta high five some people.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I know you said
just leave me here with my awkward
profound things, but just give me a second here. Because we be high-fiving.
Who scores and 1 game jam ago? I'll give the speech while they high-five each other.
Again, over on the Twitch side, we have this poll available. It will be live for another couple of minutes here. It looks like about a minute and a half. It seems like we have stay in your bubble out as a front runner and don't burst your bubble with a couple of votes as well. And thank you guys for hopping over here and participating. Well, I'm honestly, Toak calling out idea, use a similar mechanic, and you can use the high five to pop bubbles.
Ooh.
But it's co-op, and you only have one hand, so you and your teammate have to collaborate on where the bubble is going to be.
We're not supposed to pitch multiplayer games.
You are absolutely right. I ran away with it. That's on me. I will take the blame on that one. Sorry about that.
We're trying to be good to ourselves, chat.
It is true. Well, it's something that like. Again, as someone new to this whole process, I've seen a couple, I've learned a lot. Every time someone adds another layer to it, I'm like, but it feels so much bigger now. And it's we have such a limited time. I'm so afraid of scope creep.
How about if it's on an Apple Vision Pro?
Perfect.
No.
We have testing devices, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Can we use dots?
No. Oh, yeah, let's use dots. You know what? Actually, maybe we should try and find a VR headset that's been announced but hasn't been released yet, so we could just guess at whether or not it'll work.
That'd be cool.
Can we develop it for the Switch too?
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Can I develop this for my Civic?
Yes.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Understood.
It plays on a Tesla screen.
And it looks like we have concluded our vote. Thank you to everybody who hopped over to participate. We had 7 votes for stay in your bubble and 4 for don't burst your bubble. So chat preference is idea 4 and idea 1. Do we want to strike ideas 2 and 3 just to clean up the board a little bit?
Or do we want to add our votes into the mix? Or do we?
If you
I
want,
can put like a vote. Hold on.
Right.
Oh wait, no, I can't. I need the bigger tier. Hold on, just put a sticker on the one you like. I already put one.
Idea.
We probably should have did this, or I should have said something before we voted. But I also wanted to maybe see if any of you had any ideas. I know Kirk, you had an idea.
Someone likes the idea.
Oh, I had an idea.
I thought you did.
I think
just wanted to check, with the team.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
Ideas.
Yeah. Also, James did another cool game jam thing, which is check in with your group.
Honestly, I will say this as well. For me, as someone looking in from the outside, in a way, a team mentality is deeply ingrained in my brain. So I'm very aware of team dynamics, whether they are people operating very well within their team or operating not keeping the team in mind. And you guys are doing great as a team. And I know you already all know each other, but this level of camaraderie is very encouraging and very enjoyable. And if you at home are hoping to hop into a game jam, hopefully you can find a similar dynamic as to what we have here.
That was my idea. It was going to be called, well, we have a don't burst your bubble, but would be one called burst your bubble. And it would be a text-based game around trying to make someone mad, like in a cute, funny way. And you're trying to burst their bubble, and the bubbles that you pop are the things that you say, and some of the bubbles are harder to pop because I don't know, like the person is not as open to that insult, or they're easier to pop because they might be like shy about something.
Finding
So-
the best way to exploit someone's insecurities. I love it.
Sounds like a competitive sports kind of approach.
Oh no, is that how you see bursting bubbles?
That's an internal thing in sports. The good trash talks, you got to be quick and you cut straight to the core.
Okay.
It's
man,
not
if we're like uniting generations, would you be saying this to like, I don't know, like your grandpa? Like
someone insulted your grandfather.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, you're
Jump in and
defending your
defend them.
grandfather.
I just have to call out in the YouTube chat. Daryl Lee just suggested 007, and there is
That's a great
not
name.
a better phrase that I've
Time
ever
out.
come across. Like
It's
I'm gonna be
perfect.
saying that all day.
And we
007.
meld it with game idea number 4. Now the tension is less horror. It's a stealth game. It's like old school Metal Gear Solid, where it's like top down and you're in and out of bubbles. You've got safe space.
Yeah.
And we use the pun as a catalyst for the game.
Also, it's really
the best idea. Start with a pun name.
it's the best title too. It's kind of a double entendre because, I don't know where the double is, but it looks like a bubble and then a person saluting.
That's a good call too. So, we got an opening logo.
There you go.
We're gonna have to come up with like an amazing theme if we're gonna even be worthy of the name, though.
No,
That's solid.
Sarah, what you drawing there?
I was trying to draw like a bubble with a little like shiny thing on it.
Sure.
I'm trying.
You did great. Don't worry.
We can't be demonetized
I'm so
on
glad
Twitch.
you caught yourself.
There you
I
go.
was trying to like, you know how the bubble has like the shiny thing? There,
Yeah.
that doesn't look good.
Nervous.
No.
You're making me nervous.
Scrap that
all right,
idea.
As a team, do we have any additional thoughts that we want to share on these ideas, or do we want to lock in one that we're going to start chasing?
I do just want to say, of all of the ideas, I do think game idea number 4 has the possibility of us like exceeding scope creep. Like the scope creep on that could be real. Whereas with the other games are like arcade machine type games or whatever. And
I feel like
that is a good call out, and I can see
we definitely can. I'm just saying it has the possibility of like us coming up with a ton of great ideas, and then scope creep.
I know how we could limit the scope.
Go
You
ahead.
play game idea 4 in only 60 seconds, like 60 seconds at a time.
like minute.
Yeah, like
Sure, play that game.
you're in the bubble and you need to find something, so you got to run out, and then you kind of have a minute, and then you like look around and you're like, oh my god, I gotta find a thing, and then you gotta run back. But then as the game goes along, we give them more time. Like maybe you find an oxygen tank, or maybe it's a light, and you look farther out into the darkness or wherever it's not safe, and then that will let it like emergently like become bigger. But we leave it at like a minute, and then we add like 5 seconds at a time, that sort of deal.
For every person you save, you get more time.
Ooh.
That too.
Which allows you to go further from home base and explore new areas. That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Oh, we're already
already
feeling
kicking
it.
in.
I'm
Notice
curious
Chad
to
is
know
feeling.
in your process, from your own personal experience, is it worth setting like a minimum viable product and then having like identifying elements that are great but are honestly nice to haves, and then at least at the end, if you have to cut things, you're already aware of what's on the list? Does that make sense? Okay.
With the
I think
knowledge that
starting with the core game loop, build that first.
Sure.
And then if you have time, we can expand from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think the core game loop itself is quite accomplishable in the time that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Though I do want to check in with our gameplay programmer, Kirk. How are you feeling about the core gameplay loop? Do you feel like this is something that can be accomplishable in your time?
Yeah, actually, I can just like, we're doing this in 3D, right?
We have not discussed that, but
Probably.
yeah, we could
Yeah, that's a good
maybe
question.
absolutely do
I
it.
could do like a isometric 3D. So chat, to bring it, I'm not bringing code into this stream. I basically took the Warriors like sample project for input system. I could just like start building, take that prototype, start adding like the base system. So maybe you have like a center box, and then that's where the warrior can go. And then when he goes out, you have 60 seconds. And I can set like the base systems for Sarah, and then y'all can just add on to it. So before I leave for Washington D.C., if you're going to be there, MagFest 2025, I'll be jamming there. Yeah, I can have like the base prototype for Sarah to pass on, so you can move around and like have a box and then leave for 60 seconds. That sounds pretty easy.
Yeah, Weekend also kind of playing off of the same idea that you're tethered in some way to the starting area, so it's a fixed environment size. And then kind of instead of adding time, maybe you add length to your tether type of thing. That might be interesting. But yeah, how are you guys feeling right now? If you had to lock in one, I know that there's been most conversation around 4. I feel like, again, kind of observing here, game 1 looks like a safe option that is enjoyable. It sounds good. I like it. But idea 4 seems to be where the energy and the excitement is. So where do you kind of make that choice? What are you guys feeling?
Man, I do really heart game idea 4 pretty hard. Like, I think there's a lot of opportunity here. And like,
feel it in your heart.
I could feel it in my heart. I'm already like seeing color palettes. So like, I think that's a pretty cool sign for art me. I like it. I think it's, and again, like I love horror games, so it really did go to my dark little heart. But
perfect.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Mike,
I think
and
I'm
YouTube chat says
emotionally
go with
attached.
the energy. Sarah, go ahead.
I think I'm emotionally attached to idea 4.
Yeah.
Kirk, James, what are your thoughts here?
Let Kirk go first.
Oh no, I'm all there with y'all.
Okay. James,
let's do it. Let's
all
do
right.
Yeah.
All in favor of game idea 4, say aye.
I
like
have it.
Yeah. We did it, guys. We came up with an idea.
This was fun. I know with our previous game jam that we did on the stream, we did Crazy Web Game Jam in November, which was super fun. And shout out to those of you that participated and submitted. We came in already basically with the idea. We had a game design doc that was very thorough. Shout out to Lydia for doing that.
Learned so much about snow leopards.
We did learn a lot about snow leopards
and marmots.
But this was very fun to be a part of the kind of brainstorm process and see the considerations, see the collaboration, which I've already given you guys a little bit of flowers on. Absolutely incredible seeing you guys work together. I absolutely love it. I like this a lot. I think this is going to be really fun. Oh God, I didn't see Subnautica on the screen, and then I scrolled down. I have flashbacks. There's trauma here. Okay, so we have the idea. You guys have your roles. What would typically be your next step? From a live stream perspective, we're coming back on Thursday to work on something specific in that time. We don't have to decide that right now, but is there like assigning homework for you guys as you are working a little more asynchronously? Do we want to include that in kind of our whiteboard space here? What are you guys thinking?
Go, James.
My idea is that we need to lock in our game idea. Like before development even starts, we have to understand what are all the elements that we're going to be adding into the game.
I'm with you.
I made a little section like down towards the bottom where we can like kind of more flesh out what we're going to be doing.
Oh, nice.
Do, like game ideas.
Perfect.
Add like post-its.
So time on the clock for the stream is about 10 to 15 minutes. If we can kind of solidify exactly what we're doing, you guys can work after the fact and kind of get into what needs to be done. And then we will work off stream about what Thursday stream is going to look like. We'll update all of those events on the YouTube side so that you guys know exactly what to expect from Thursday's stream. But I'll let you guys kind of take the lead here on this as well.
So we know with certainty that we need to have a home base that our character goes back to as the safe zone, and then they have to leave it and explore for X period of time.
I have that card on the top left. Create base system. So safe zone, time exploration, unsafe zone. Cool.
Yep, unsafe zone. So we're gonna need things that that are not safe that exist outside of safe zone.
Yeah.
Our goal is to collect. Are we gonna call it family members?
I think that's uniting the generations as well as.
So there was that, and I also had a different idea around this.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. What's up?
If we wanted to make this more cosmic and put it in space or something like that, what if each person that you're saving is a different version of you?
Whoa. Like time travel, like
could be something like that.
Too sober for this idea.
Like there's a kid version of you, an adult version of you, an older version of you.
So it is crazy. Generations of yourself.
Oh man, cosmic horror in space, dude, bro, sir.
What happened to the metaphysics of this game jam?
Wow. Okay,
put it in there. I don't know where it goes on the board. Okay, it's on there.
So deep.
I'm doing it like based off The Sims. I only know The Sims.
Weekend said, James, did you just go multiverse?
Whoa.
What was that?
Weekend from Twitch chat asked, did you just go multiverse?
I did. I did.
Like it a lot.
As you can tell, I'm a Marvel fan, so
I like it a lot.
Multiverse is big on the mind.
Big time.
So I think an important factor that we need to re-clarify, are we sticking with 3D?
Yeah, I put isometric in there.
Okay, so let's explicitly call out that it's a 3D.
Third person or first person? Or no, isometric. Could be third person. Oh my god, I'm not thinking.
Though an isometric first person might be a very interesting thing to experiment with. But let's stick with the classic. Okay, so
it's gonna hurt my head. Never mind. Let's just keep going.
At least like when I'm thinking of the player board, it's just I put Fog of War on the very right side for the lighting, but it would just be like your middle box is, I guess, your home base, and then everything around it is like visible, but like things are kind of.
Can you doodle?
Oh yeah.
What if the light source comes from your home base, and as you collect more versions of yourself, it gets larger, so you can see further out?
I like that. So, I mean, in terms of horror, the best way to kind of establish tension is your lighting and how little control you have of it, or how inefficient it is, right? Like, look at every crappy flashlight that flickers in every horror movie. That's establishing tension and ramping it up.
Yeah. So Kirk, please the sketch.
So like,
this
would be the home base, right? The bubble.
Yeah.
And then this would be like the light. This would be like the light border. So we would have a border. Oh, look! It looks like a sunny side up egg.
It does.
And then and then as you collect, like the farther you go, the farther the light
expands out. Yeah. Maybe what it is that when you're out there rescuing versions of yourself, you could also pick up like cores, like battery cores or something that expands your light.
Or wait. The versions of yourself are older because they went out on adventures to get the cores.
They
never came back. So when you bring them back, they bring back the core. They found the core, but never made the way back. So as you bring them back, they're powering up the core.
Okay, somebody write that down. Write that down.
Old Jackie Poo over here just meant to moderate chat and manage morale, coming up with an idea.
I'm making a fire here because maybe like your former self is stuck and then they have a campfire.
Kirk, it's space. You need oxygen for a fire.
Well, we don't know.
Suspend disbelief.
Some planets might have.
Yeah. Like Charizard can fight Pikachu. We have to suspend disbelief, you know?
Listen, Pikachu's a behemoth, all right?
I question art style. Like, how do we feel about voxel art? Or do you prefer something different?
Whatever's quickest.
Yeah. Whatever you're most comfortable with that you can get done.
Yeah.
I'm
if you could make it
comes to voxel art.
Cool. I was gonna say if you could just make it look like Octopath Traveler, that's maybe my favorite art style. Chad, I would love to hear what is your favorite art style in games. Also, Advanced I know Wars. That's unrealistic for me to.
Yeah, it is.
Request. If you need voice work like gentle grunts, because we're not gonna do full voice acting, but instead, if you want just like
you can be VO
a little, I would love to do VO. You let me know if I can help.
I love how they're limited to gentle grunts, though. No aggressive grunts, no pained grunts, just gentle grunts.
I have one lane and I stay in it.
I know my grunt lane.
Just gentle.
You know your audience.
Yeah.
I will. We'll tap you for some gentle grunts there, Jackson.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Sheesh,
Yay!
Kraken
Somebody
says,
low luminary dev says Voxel will be cool. Excellent, thank you. So I'm actually excited about this because I actually enjoy animating voxels, and I'm very particular about voxels. I believe strongly that voxels shouldn't bend, so I actually do kind of keyframe animation style. So I think I can come up with something really cool, and yeah.
So this is in space.
It can be. At some point we were underwater, but I like space, especially with the versions of yourself, the sci-fi elements to it.
How do we do that? How do we have it make sense? Is it like the player literally floating around in space? Are they in a spaceship? Like what does that look like?
I love the idea of floating around. You have like a little jetpack thing. And so like, because if you go out too far, you become one of the people because you run out of juice and you're just sitting there.
Oh my god, you just made me think of something. Oh my gosh.
Then is it like go James, you go James.
Go James.
It's beyond scope creep. However, what if you do go too far and you get stuck or whatever and you become one of the people, then you respawn and your character that you just played is still out there. You can save them.
That's kind of easy. Yeah. It would just be like you leave the character model out there and then maybe like, you know, a piece of text and they're just floating out there. We can leave them with like I don't know, a lamp. Sorry, it's in space. I don't do a lot of space.
Tank. You'll be fine.
You keep going back.
Rub some dirt on it. You'll be fine.
Fixated on it.
We say space. Kirk is thinking like medieval fantasy.
Yeah. Doom.
And then there's a graveyard.
Medieval. What's the new Doom game?
The space graveyard. The new Doom game. Doom Eternal.
No, there's one that's announced for maybe this year. That's like Doom the Dark Ages. Thank you, VG Junkie. Doom the Dark Ages. So it is sci-fi Doom, but with fantasy elements. It's very cool. Yeah, I really like it. The bull kind of jumping off your idea, James, saying that maybe that's sort of like a roguelike element to it. I've been stuck in on some roguelikes lately, but I really like this. Do you guys feel that you have enough to work off of right now?
This is a lot.
Like we have plenty to work off of.
Okay.
I think we might need to scale back a little.
Well, that's what I mean. Do we want to set like a minimum? We've got like a core gameplay loop. Do we have a minimum viable product?
So let's star the. This is definitely a thing.
Okay.
Let's just circle the controls. And then
I like the
I think this right here is a good starting point because this is like the base of the loop.
Yeah.
Like we can get to like this right here is maybe pushing the thing. Voxel, I'll just open this one right here. Yeah, I think this is where this is the base right here.
Okay. I think what it could be, like the win condition is save everybody. The lose condition is that you just die, and that's the end of the game. So there isn't that looping structure. It's just game over. And then if we have time, then we can actually build out that looping structure.
Okay. Yeah.
Guys, this is so cool.
I was just gonna say I've had such a good time with this. Like
this is really good.
This is so awesome. Fun. This looks awesome. As we kind of started with just a small idea, chat added, every one of you added. This slowly became something in my brain that I was like, I would play the crap out of this game. Like this is so fun. Like I'm in. This is very, very cool.
What's the joke on chat all the time? Is like, you guys need to make your own Fortnite.
Yeah. Honestly, we say it less, but like it is anecdotally, it is something that I go and say, like, I have to be very cautious with how I do the stream setups for titles and thumbnails. Because if I say we made a game, everyone's going to come in expecting like Unity, the entire corporation made a game. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Though if this idea takes off, who knows?
We pitch it to the powers that be above us.
I think we want.
Yeah, that's a really great premiere game for Unity, like an existential horror about collecting your corpses. Yeah, like
cool.
Hey, if the players are there, it doesn't matter what.
I mean, that's true. Like, man, Guys, I'm stoked about this, though. This is really cool.
This is so cool. I want to shout out Pixel 6 as we kind of transition away here, saying my favorite thing about the Unity engine and community is that the engine's very user-friendly, that it got me into the engine, and I've been using it for 3 years, and the community is very kind and big. That's what we like to hear. I've been... Again, I've been here for 6 months, and the thing that I've seen unanimously, internally and externally, is that the community is what makes Unity so great. So as a community manager, myself and Kirk on the other side here, we love to hear that. We love to hear that. We absolutely agree that so much of what makes this space great is the people within it. So if you want to connect further with the people, go check out the Discord and the discussions pages, connect with your fellow community members. And I know that we've talked about it earlier in the stream about sending people over to essentially connect with each other and maybe jump into a game jam. I think there's lots of opportunities there. You can also see the most up-to-date live stream schedule over in the Discord. There is a live streams tab, so go and check that out as well. No Sleep Kid is currently making an anti-cheat system for games, which I think is very important. Honestly, maybe that's an idea for a whole stream, is like bringing in anti-cheat and how do you loop that into. Anyhow, I digress. Gang, I'm very excited for this project. I don't know if we've locked down the name or if we need to like layer that in a little bit more. But this might be the most fired up that I've been after a live stream, getting to the end and being like, oh my God, the future is bright. Again, we have 2 more streams with this team. Come back on Thursday where we will be actively working on the game. We'll let you guys know what we're hoping to accomplish. And then next Tuesday, we will reveal what we have finished with this game. So I'm so excited to have you back. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Sarah, Kirk, Joy, and James with the long-awaited return. You guys are all excellent. We'll see all of you except Kirk on Thursday, but then Kirk's joining us back again on Tuesday. So come on back, everybody. I'm going to throw this in chat right now. Our next stream is available. The link is on screen now. You can hop over to the YouTube page, hit that notification bell. And again, for me and my future here in this company, if you hit that notification bell, that like button, you throw a comment in there, it all helps me. And
Jackson's job depends on it.
Let's keep Jackson here.
And I'm a little bit stressed. But either way, I'm so grateful for all of you, for this team, for those of you watching at home. I'm going to have you guys just stay through the end with me here. One final time, I'm going to throw a survey in the chat. That is for me to know a little bit more about you. It's only 4 questions. It will take you 3 minutes max. Go in there, tell me a little bit about you and what type of content you guys like and would like to see more of, because we are working on fleshing out our schedule here, creating new and exciting content that you guys want to see. And we've got a lot of ideas and we want to try some fun new things and we want to bring you guys along for that ride. So let us know. We want to hear from you directly what type of thing you would like to see. So with that all being said, we did it. We crushed it. I want to give a shout out to everyone in chat who has been watching this. If you're watching on the VOD as well, throw in a comment for what you think we should name this game, because I think to me, we're right there with 007 and maybe we use it, but we kind of moved away from the spies. I don't really know, but if you've got ideas, I want to hear them. We could. Kirk, do you have a thing or are you just petting your beard?
Everyone have fun jamming. Drink lots of water.
Lots of water, everybody.
Sleep 8 hours and make new friends.
Love it.
Y'all can do this. And I believe in you.
Absolutely. Again, whether this is your first time at one of our live streams or you're here every single one, I'm so grateful to have you here. A shout out to the Bull, who's like, I think been at every stream since I've started on the YouTube side. Maybe we start spotlighting one of our community members every single stream here, but I wanted to give you a shout out and thank you so very much for being here and supporting the streams.
Perfect attendance.
Inviting other people in. Exactly. This goes on your permanent record, all of this good stuff. So we are so excited to keep this going. I'm so jazzed. I don't know if you guys can tell from my energy levels right now, but
can you stop, because then you're raising the expectations.
No. Expectations.
Want to make sure we're good.
It's just in my heart. Everyone else manage your own expectations, but mine right now, I'm feeling just excitement right here in the core.
James Award 2025. Let's go.
Look out for Team Unity. All right, everybody. We will say a kind and gentle, fond farewell to you all. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Come back on Thursday. That is January the 23rd. We'll be live again at 9 a.m. Pacific. That's 5 p.m. GMT. You guys want to learn a princess wave before we go?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Princess wave is wash the window.
Wash the window.
Missed a spot. Wash the window. Missed a spot. And that's your princess wave. Anyhow, everybody, thank you so very much for being here, for being part of this community. We will see you again soon. Until that time, my name is Jackson. Have a great day, everyone.